In part 3 of our lab, we are going to find the density of an irregularly shaped object, specifically some glass marbles. So first we need to weigh the marbles, and you'll notice that they weigh 31.5. Now we need to figure out the volume of the marbles. How do we do that? They have an odd shape. We could try to measure the diameter and then figure out the volume from that, but there's an easier way. If we put some water in a graduated cylinder and measure how much water we have, then dunk the marbles in the water, we'll be able to tell how much the water rose inside the graduated cylinder. The amount the water rises is the volume of the marbles. So that's what we'll do. First, we'll put some water in the graduated cylinder. Go ahead and read the volume of the water. You'll notice that it is 29 milliliters. That's a lowercase m, capital L. And rounding to the nearest whole number is close enough with this equipment. Next, gently roll the marbles into the water at an angle. Why do you have to roll them? Why can't you just drop them? Well, if you drop the marbles in, they can splash the water out, which will mess up the volume. Now, you'll need to read the volume of the water, but as a side note, I need to tell you about the meniscus. The meniscus is a little scoop that water makes when it gets in the glass tube. A plastic tube doesn't do it as well, as much, but it still does. So, when you read the volume, you read at the bottom of the meniscus, the bottom of that little scoop where the water meets the air. So in this next photo, where we have the water and the marbles together, please read the volume at the bottom of the meniscus, the bottom of the scoop, and round it to the nearest whole number. So you see that we have 42 milliliters of water when the marbles are dropped in. The water started at 29 milliliters, and when the marbles were dropped in, it rose to 42 milliliters. The amount that it rose is the volume of the marbles, how much space the marbles take up. So subtract these two numbers, and you will know the volume of just the marbles. When you do that, you get 13 milliliters. Now we are ready to calculate the density of the marbles. Notice we have a lot of different volumes here. How do we know which one to use? Well, we're finding the density of the marbles, not the water and the marbles. So we need to use the volume of the marbles and the mass of the marbles to calculate that. Density is mass divided by volume. Go ahead and do that and find your answer. Then remember to put in your units. Mass is in grams, volume this time is in milliliters, so this would be grams per milliliter. Make sure you write your answer. Round your volume to 2 decimal places. Finally, you need to answer the question at the end. Now wait a minute, there's a problem. This is in grams per cubic centimeter, and this is in grams per milliliter. Well, it's not actually a problem because cubic centimeters and milliliters are actually the same thing. Cubic centimeters are usually used for solids, while milliliters are usually used for liquids, but they are interchangeable.